guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do the first of 3 December book hauls. I went a little crazy this month. I think it has to do with stress and then working too much, and then then I got sick. And I think I overspent online. Like, I think I was just click happy, and I just did not think about Christmas was coming. I just didn't think, I just wanted it, and I'm so used to just buying what I want. So I bought a lot. Anyways, I'm going to do a couple more book hauls of the stuff I actually got online. All of it is here except for one book. So, well, I mean, I bought 3 today that won't be here till next month, but that's next month's problem. Anyway, yeah. I will go into the whole book buying thing later in another video. Right now, we are going to deal with the book hauls that I have. So I'm going to show you the used books that I got in the last couple days. I didn't buy any used books earlier in the month until the last couple days because I was so busy at the first part of the month. I didn't go anywhere or do anything. And then I got so sick that I didn't go anywhere except to work. And then that weekend I was just flat out. I didn't do anything except watch BookTube and learn about more books that I need to buy. Anyway, so... And then, of course, the week before Christmas was just crazy because I was still getting over being sick. And then we were really busy because it's our busy time of the year because I'm in the maintenance department. So our stuff is all winter repairs. We're trying to bring everything in, and it just, there's a lot of stuff with that. So anyway, so I didn't really get out until this week. So I kind of went to a couple of used bookstores this week. I went to one little small independent one close to where I work. I went to Pal's a couple times, and 2 different locations. And then I went to a Goodwill. So I'm just going to go through the books here, and we'll just talk about them. So on Thursday, I saw a notice on Cortagonist on her Twitter talking about a book, and I remembered her talking about it I don't know, like a month ago? I don't know if it's that far. This is that. I'm kind of messed up on my time. But it was, she had like a list of cozy cozy mystery series that she was talking about. And one of them she talked about was Ellie Alexander, Meet Your Baker, or the Bake Shop Mysteries. I'm almost sure she talked about this one. If not, she talked about another one that sounded really a lot like this one. But anyway, she had this on her Twitter. And then I was like, oh, I'll go get that. And I happened to find it, this little small independent store, and really great condition for a used book. So I was really excited. And then I went to Goodwill right afterwards, and I found number 4. So this is a little farther in the series, of course, but hey, it was really cheap. So I'm looking forward to this. This is about a woman who comes back from her schooling to help at her parents' bakery, or the family bakery, and of course, because it's a cozy mystery, somebody dies, and it happens in Ashland, Oregon, which is pretty cool, and during the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, or to do with that, and it sounds interesting. So it's all cool stuff that I know about, and I just wanted to read that. And they're having cozy mystery book club. They just started, her and somebody else, I'm not sure, but I'll link her and the club, at least I see it on Twitter. So this is going to be their first book, which is funny. I didn't find out about it until I got home that night, and I was going through my Twitter, and there was the announcement for the book club, and this is the book. And I thought, well, that's funny. I just picked it up because she had talked about it, but I missed the part that there was a book club. So anyway, I had the book, so that'll be good. Speaking of another book club, this one's through Goodreads from Mel's Bookland Adventures. It's the December Read for Read Around the World. It's a Golden Age by Tamina Anon, I think. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I apologize. But this has to do with 1971 and the Bangladesh War of Independence. I don't know anything about that, and I'm really, again, it's a Pakistan family, or so I'm very interested because this was the pick that we chose, and I've been really kind of slacking on some of the books ever since I found out about our book club, so I do want to try this one, and I got a really cheap used copy, so I'm gonna try to read that. We'll see what happens. This is a book I can't remember where I saw it on. I thought I had notes on it, and I don't, because I think I saw it when I was sick, and I'm not sure. I didn't take as good a notes on this one. So, but that is After the Parade by Lori Ostland, and it has to do with a young man who was living in San Francisco, was living with a partner who kind of was overbearing, I guess, and has the younger man's father dies during a parade. So he goes back home. So I don't know if he's there when it happens or he then comes home after it happens. And he goes back to a small Minnesota town, about 400, and deals with kind of the aftermath and making decisions for himself going forward. So it's one of those tales, like coming home and seeing what you really want. And I picked, I think it was Russell from Ink and Paper blog, but I could be wrong, so I'm not quite sure. But it sounded really interesting, and again, my dad's family is Minnesota, Iowan, and so we drove all over that. And my dad grew up outside of a 400 plus little Minnesota town. So I'm not saying that this is anywhere related that way, except I remember little parades that we went to for like 4th of July and stuff. So maybe that was why. But it sounded like a cool story, and they were raving about it, and I wish I could remember who. I'm pretty sure it was Russell, but I was so sick I can't tell you who it was. And then I picked up kind of one I've been eyeing. I think maybe because I just saw it on Life Between Words, and it's Blonde by Joyce Carol Oates. I've never read anything by her, but this has to do with Marilyn Monroe and her life, or Norma Jean, her given name. And I'm not going to say I followed her career or I've researched it or anything. I have read a couple of books in the past on her. So I thought it's been probably 20 years since I read anything. So this is a novelization of her life, so it's not totally real, but there's got to be a lot of real events that I remember reading about. So I just thought it'd be interesting. It's like 740 pages, and the print is like teeny, and look how dense it is. It's gonna be a commitment, but I've been interested in it for the last couple months, and I keep putting it off. But after I saw her Hollywood thing, on all the Hollywood actresses, the books on them, I decided to finally get it. And then another one I got today was Quiet, by Susan Cain. Now this is a nonfiction book about the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. Now this has to do with history's introverts who actually drove innovation and done other things, and how in the 20th century everybody was supposed to be an extrovert because they were supposed to be the ones who were leading the way, but actually people are introverts for a reason. And it's, there's probably, I don't know how much science is going to be involved, but it sounds really interesting. And I saw this on a Book Olive, I think it was one of her recommendations before Nonfiction November. I think she'd read it before that. I'm not sure. I just know that I saw it on her channel, and I've been wanting to get it since I saw it. So, anyway. And then another nonfiction is Blink, The Power of Thinking Without Thinking by Malcolm Gladwell. I really want to read his book. I think it's Outliers. I think it's the other one. I don't remember. There's another book by him that I want. But this is one I found at Goodwill for a couple of bucks. So I thought I'd take a chance on it. And I picked this one up because it has to do with good decision making and how we make split second decisions, and how we can make better ones in work and home and that kind of thing. And I'm a planner scheduler by trade, so sometimes I have to make decisions really quickly on how we're going to handle certain things. And I always feel that I do it good in some ways, and then sometimes it just fails. So I just kind of thought it'd be interesting to read some of the more psychological side of it or behind it. There's a couple other books I want to get in the same vein. I just haven't found them for cheap yet. But this is one of the first ones I want to take. So I might do, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to wait till Nonfiction November for some of these, or maybe start reading some of these early, but I think they'd be kind of interesting. And then I have a couple of fantasies. The first one is the third book in the Chronicles of St. Mary's series by Jodi Taylor. It's called A Second Chance. I bought this on ebook a month or two ago. It was on sale, so I bought it. But then I saw a cheap copy at Pal's today, and I just picked it up. I rather have them in physical form. I already have 2 of them in the series, and as I said, I really liked the first one. I want to reread it soon and then go into the second one. So I have the third one ready to go. So it's time travel, historians, and it's funny. It was really the first book was really there was heart-wrenching too. It was really good. It was a really good book, and I really want to read more into the series. And then another one I picked up was kind of on a whim. It is A Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall. I have not seen anybody talk about this on BookTube. Maybe I just missed it because it is a couple of years old. But I think the third book is either just coming out or just came out. I can't remember. And I think the reason I picked this up is because I keep seeing it on like Orbit stuff, like on emails and social media, the publisher. So I picked it up to look at it, but the reason I decided to buy it was the first line of the book, and it was all going so nicely right up until the massacre. And for some reason that just drew me in. And the only other thing I know about it is it says five villains, 1 legendary general, a final quest for vengeance, which it's huge too, but it sounded great. Has anybody read this? Let me know. I hope it's good. It just sounds really good at the beginning. It sounded really excellent. And then this is kind of more paranormal. It's called The Supernaturals by David L. I don't even know. So William? I don't know. I've read his Vent Group thrillers. So they're kind of speculative thrillers, so they're not, they're aliens and other things, but they're really cool. They're fun. I really like them. This is one of his newer series that I have not tried, and I could not find it in paperback. All I can find it was in hardback, and the second book I think just came out or is coming out. So I was like, oh, and I saw that first and I go, wait, what book series is that? So I went and found this. I got a really nice used copy online. I mean, it came really nice. I'm actually pretty impressed. I only paid like a couple bucks for it. So I paid, I didn't pay as much for shipping. I think I paid more for the book, but still, it still is really cheap for a hardback. And this has to do with, this summer place where something supernatural happened, and Professor, something tragic with him and his people who went to look at it to test for paranormal stuff. And so it's 7 years later. That all debacle had happened. He doesn't want to go back, but there's a documentary, producer who wants to film a Halloween special there, and so I love that it's kind of like The Haunting at Hill House kind of thing, but modern one, and I just love them. Anyway, I just love paranormal stuff. That just fun. Anyway, so I'm hoping that's good, because there's a second one now, and I'm like, oh crap. I need to get that too, but I'm like, wait, let's read the first book. I'm trying to do that. It doesn't always work, but I try. And then I got a really good history book, I think, or I really want to read, and that's John Adams by David McCullough. No, actually, I don't know how to say his last name. I had it in my head just a few minutes ago, and I lost it. But again, this is the really good biography on John Adams. It won the Pulitzer Prize. I think they did the HBO TV series or series on this, and I've always wanted to read this. And again, he's one of the founding fathers, and all that stuff. I am thinking about doing kind of doing the presidents or historical events in order for U.S. history. I just need to get a Washington biography now where I could start. But I picked this one up for $5 at Goodwill, so it's a great copy too. It was excellent. So that'll be interesting. I'm probably not going to get to that right away. I'm hoping to read Washington first, but we'll see. So that's all the books that I got at used bookstores in the last couple of days. As I said, I will probably come out with 2 more book hauls here in the next couple of days, so look out for that. Anyway, I will see you guys all later. Let me know what I should read. Bye.